welcome to my episode 2. I need this to be a series that just keeps on going. I want it just go, go, go. It's a freeform podcast series, so there's no like certain amount of time, there's no schedule when this is gonna be posted. It's gonna be like whenever I want. But I still want to keep on doing it. I don't want to just pick this thing up and let it go because if you're someone like me, if you're someone like me, a procrastinator, an overthinker, no, I don't even want to associate that with myself because right now, at this current moment, I am at I'm in this journey with my mind, with my mental, and I'm uplifting myself. I'm just constantly telling myself positive, positive, positive. So I don't want to say that I'm this and that, but before, for sure, I was definitely doing that. I was overthinking, like just procrastinating stuff when stuff didn't need to be procrastinating. Like it very much just do the thing. Who cares? Who like, very much that. And yeah, anyways, I really don't want to make this like serious podcast. I'm gonna try to like smack my personality as much as I can. I'm gonna try to like make it as like big as possible. But sometimes I'm gonna be judged down. I'm gonna be up. Yeah, but I'm not trying to make this like a serious podcast where I just constantly talk about like mental health things and toxic relations. Like I could talk about that, but just make it funny. Just for me, I don't like talking about negative things. Anyway, yeah, I zoned out for a bit. I was talking about like the podcast being too serious. Yeah, I don't want it to be too serious. I am going to make it as funny as possible. Cuz I love talking about like, bad situations and slapping comedy on it. I remember I was over here. There was this one time my mom was in Washington, I was here in my city, and I I was crying. I was crying to her. I forgot what was the reason. Girl, back then it could have been anything, but yeah, I was over here crying to her. I was on the call. Tell me why instantly after I hung up the phone, I wiped my tears, logged onto Grinder, and started trolling men. So there's the level of, how I don't take life that serious, or I don't really take shit, oh, I don't take stuff that serious. So yeah, best believe this podcast, it will not be a slashers. It won't be slashers. And this mic, hello, am I being heard? Okay, okay, this mic is going to be the death of me. And also, last episode, you could fully hear the smoke detector go off. Boo hoo, boo hoo. We've been living in this house since I was like, I think, sixth grade. And that has not been fixed at all. This might best go up. We've been living in this house since I was in sixth grade, and we have not managed to get like grab a chair, unscrew the smoke detector, and just put a new battery in it. We just could not find the power to do that. Also, this house is just completely falling apart. Like we need to move out. I think we are like in a little bit, but there's so many things wrong with it, especially in the most important, the bathrooms. The bathrooms, it just doesn't work. We don't have functional bathrooms. Like, and I don't want to point any fingers, but it's certain family members that tap into destroying this household and make it ugly, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But anyways, as you could see, I'm definitely not like a messy person. So the substance, I this is old news. Everybody's been over the substance, watched the substance, talked about the substance and everything. Um when I watched it, I never got it. I never understood it. Not like in a negative. That's not the point of this talk. I was just gonna say like, how in the substance they say respect the balance, right? Like, oh, she didn't respect when she was yelling at her, like she didn't respect the balance. That um that was me. I was over here with the hoo-ha, not respecting the balance. because I used to do it every single Friday. This is just me talking about weed. I used to do it every single Friday while watching my favorite podcast, Emergency Intercom, and I used to use zhuzh up and just be cute. But something shifted. I don't know what shifted. I just started doing it constantly, 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 and I do not respect the balance. So I the weed pen was my substance IRL, and then the substance my version of the substance. I just can't speak. I just my version of the substance. Yeah, my version of that movie. So the movie Substance then turned into My Year in Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. I lived both of those things. Well, not really, because I wasn't like getting like I was just not respecting the balance. But My Year in Rest and Relaxation, I lived that book. I lived every not every single page, but there is I thought like to get to that point, you're just gonna have to chug pills to sleep all day and be in her vibe, because the main character, all she wants to do is just sleep for an entire year. So she chugs pills. And I thought, I'm like, oh, girl. And I remember when I first picked up that book, I wished for My Year in Relaxation to happen to me. I wanted that so bad because all she did was sleep, watch shows, get coffee. Like she grabbed coffee, she would on animal crackers, watch her shows, and it was low key like on top it was giving like vibe. On the surface it was giving like it was a vibe, but if you live it, it definitely is not a vibe. And you definitely do not need to chug pills to live My Year in Relaxation. You just need to a downer, find a downer. This sounds like I'm giving like I'm telling people like how to do. No, no, I felt like my room was a tome of torment, and I feel like I closed myself in. No, I hated it. Never again. And ugh, it was bad. Just be careful for what you wish for. Be careful for what aesthetic you want, because people. Also, can we talk about that? Why are people like we glorify Gen Z glorifies so much? Like, I mean, this is like talked about already, but like how we glorify trauma very much is a thing. And that's kind of what I did with that book. I glorified what she was doing. Like clearly this woman, she's not really well here, and she's been through things, and she's trying to escape. She's trying to escape by chugging pills. I didn't see that. I just saw cute woman vibing New York City, not really vibing New York City, but just like in her little home in New York City and watching her shows. That's what I picked up from it. Kind kind of. Well, I knew what it was trying to tell, but I still wanted it. I wanted it so bad. I wanted to just like close my eyes, and all of a sudden it's just like the next 3 days have passed. So there's a reason for that. But me saying I do not want the podcast to be serious, and all I have done, it's either be serious or stutter. So pick your poison. Pick your hashtag poison. So the next thing I want to talk about, this is also kind of related to respecting the balance. This is respecting the balance of my patients. You must respect the balance of my patients, because if you are my friend and I have gave you some very good clear advice to follow, to just give you a guide in just the next week, in hopes to just give you a guide in the next few weeks. I'm not a monk. I'm not anything, but I have been praised for giving really good advice. I could say that. This fucking mic. This fucking mic. Well, I hope that part was heard. Anyways, I'm not. Yeah, but I have been praised a lot for my good advice. I have been given good advice. I need an award. There's no superheroes like me in a sci-fi. Like FKA Twig said, there is no superheroes like me in a sci-fi. And if you test that patience, I will turn into a villain, because I have not cussed out, but I have been so passive aggressive to my. This sounds like toxic of me, but I'm not. It's not. It's just like I wish the best for my friends. I really do, like anybody else. If you're a good friend, if you're normal, you wish the best for your friends, right? Um, so I give them advice. Tell me why the next week, same problem. Okay, boom. Give the same advice, and so let's just say for example this happened because I don't want to like say anything specific because it's gonna hit close to home and they're probably gonna know I'm talking about them. Let's just say I have a friend, they have a boyfriend, and they're coming to me. He's mean to me. I'm like, okay, girl, do this, this, and that. Boom. Yeah. Next week, next day, same thing. Then I'm just like, okay, girl, I'm gonna give you the same advice, but next week it's the same thing. And I'm just like, okay, girl, I'm gonna tell you for real now. Like for real, like the first part, it was supposed to get you like in a better headspace, but this time it's for real. You're kind of embarrassing yourself now. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself to me and to your man that doesn't even like you. Like why to the public? You are showcasing to the world that you're allowing this toxic man to control you. You know what I'm trying to say? And I hate being that friend that gives the advice constantly, 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 and it's just not followed. But can we also talk about how I am that? I am literally that. I am my friends and I am my own person that gives myself advice. I give myself the same advice. I get mad when I don't follow it, and I don't follow it, and I don't follow it, and I don't follow it. Guess what, bitch? You do. Let's go all the way back to when I was in fourth grade. I had a teacher. For some reason, his name was similar to cow, like in Spanish. It was cow in Spanish, his name, his last name, at least. And I think he had some issues that he had to deal with. He had some anger issues for sure. He should not have been an elementary teacher. I watch Abbott Elementary, and I see that as a daydream. I see that as something that I wish I had when I was younger because these teachers were cussing, not cussing me out, but they were. And I understand, like, you're dealing with kids every single day, but, like, you should know that. It's like I'm signing up to be a doctor, but I'm afraid of blood. And when I go to be a doctor, I see blood. And I'm just like, oh, no, I hate my job. I hate my job, and I hate this person for bleeding. Like, that's kind of what you signed up for. And especially if you wanted to be an elementary school teacher, you signed up to be annoyed by kids. I remember that this teacher, I got all the answers wrong on my homework, and I think I can't remember how long it was, but it felt like for an eternity. He was cussing. He was like scolding me really hard, and before my scolding, he scolded another kid, and that kid cried. And I feel like his intention was to make me cry because when that kid stopped crying, he instantly jumped to me. He was just like, "Okay, my job's done here with that one. You're my next victim." Guess what? I'm like, "No, baby." In my mind, all I did, I just stared at him like this, and I was just cussing him out. My fourth grade self used all of the bad words that I knew and just started cussing him out in my head, and I was just like, "I'm not bothered. I am not." And it felt like for an eternity because till this day I genuinely think he was trying to make me shed a tear. No, no, that's not gonna happen. But that wasn't even what I was gonna talk about that classroom, that scary classroom. um Basically this scary teacher, he implemented a feature, this hierarchy with the students, and you could be the king or the queen of the day. The first student to ever get crowned was a girl. She was crowned, and he told her that she can make any rule that she wanted for the day. It would just be available for the day. And this girl knew that he had a pouch of candy, a little pouch of candy in his desk. So as the queen, she said, "Give me candy." All of the kids were like, "Ooh, the power has entered the building." And guess what he did? Guess what that teacher did? Gave her the candy. That leads me to my crowning when I was elected king for that classroom. I got my candy. I got that 10 minutes of bliss while eating those Hershey's. When it hits recess, I'm over here like, okay, King's about to play. He's about to, have some fun. Recess time. I go group up with these friends. They're all girls. I group up with them, and I we were playing with a ball. I forgot, were we playing with the ball? I don't know, but I know that we were under a staircase. We were under a staircase during lunch, and we were playing around. I know that we were running like in a very small area, so we would be bumping into each other. Long story short, a girl in that group fell down, fell to the ground. I wasn't next to her at all. All I heard was just like I think I heard like a gasp or something, and then I heard like Anthony pushed me. Wh- Girl, this little girl said Anthony pushed me, and then her friend said, "You're a bad king." I'm like, I definitely feel like I was hated. I was getting impeached. I was getting pulled off the throne by my servants in that day. How dare they? How dare they? And I don't know what happened. I think they wanted me to like tell on myself. They wanted me to confess my crimes to the teacher. I I don't know what happened, but I know that I didn't get in trouble. I did not get in trouble, that's for sure. So, thank you. I hope you're mad. I hope you're very much mad. No, that same girl, we were in a choir class together. I did good, and I got into the choir club. I got into the choir class. I mean, because you had to the choir teacher played notes, and you had to match them. You like just go like, huh, and if you match them perfectly, then you're in the class. I matched them perfectly. I don't think she did. Why why when I'm in fourth period, I think I'm like, no, this is fifth. Or I think it might no, it's fifth. It's fifth. Tell me why when I'm in fifth period, fifth grade. Tell me why. I forgot what point in the day it was, but I hear from this same girl, I hear from one of my friends that I was mocking her when she was doing the notes. Like I was making fun of her when she was. No, what is your upset? Two times. Till I'm 19 years old, and I just realized that this little girl had some hatred for me. There's, I have villains, I have ops, and I don't even. Why do you hate me, little girl? I hope that she's doing better now. In my mind, for some reason, I just see her like with her man and being toxic. But that's my. That's probably not the case. That's probably not the case. My crown remains for that day when I was king. My crown stayed on my head, and I consumed those candies, and apparently I tossed the little girl over. Apparent. I was also little too. I'm calling her little girl, and I'm not calling myself little. When I was little, there, I was little. Imagine me like a crow right now. Just be. Have you ever been in a circle with your friends? Have you ever been in a circle with your friends, and let's just say you guys are on an app, Tinder. Yeah, just random app, Tinder, and your said friend is swiping, and you guys treat it like a game. Oh, this guy's ugly, or this girl's ugly, this person's ugly. I just realized that we are all mean people because we just categorize. We there's someone out there that we. You know how kids used to say, "Oh, I dare you to do this or kiss this person in your class." Imagine if you were that. Imagine if you were that person. Like, we were all mean. We're still mean when we like. Oh, this person is so. We don't even know them. Like, how did we develop just an easy way to just snap and forget that this person has feelings, that this person even is real, and just quickly go like that? Like, go and say something mean? You need to be stopped, and I've been guilty of. I mean, of course I have. Like, of course I fucking have. Like, who hasn't? We're all human. Like, we're all. I mean, is it really bad though? I don't really find it as that bad. because the person's not hearing it. But still, I would not. If I, for some reason, found out that I was being talked about like that, I would want to cuss them out. I would want my cuss out. I would want my cuss out because why are you telling? Why am I the? Why am I the punishment? But yeah, that's a weird thing that we all normally do and that I still normally do, kind of, and I'm kind of digging. But talking about like circling with friends and being with friends just reminds me a lot nostalgia, like, cause right now and even when I had a job, they were all fake. Everyone there was fake, and there was not really a connection with friends. So when I think of friendship, I instantly go back to like kid memories, and it's just heavy nostalgia. And I, for a long time, did not like the feeling of nostalgia. I avoided the song 400 Lux by Lord because it made me feel that nostalgia feeling. Can we also talk about how she is a scientist and she was able to put the chords to tap mental electrons to make me feel nostalgic? Like, she is powerful. I, for a long time, really hated nostalgia. I hated feeling it felt like I, I was getting like scooped out by like a cold watermelon, like not by a cold spoon. I could not talk clearly, but I was getting scooped out by a cold spoon, and that's how nostalgia felt for me. I avoided it like the plague. I did not want to remember a bad memory, obviously, and I didn't even want to remember a good one, a good, cute memory. And I'm just like, why though? Why? Is it because right now it's not good, or is it because back then it was too bad, or you want to live that? So it really goes down to why are you thinking this way? Why are you letting yourself think this way? And I finally answered why. And there is no why. I was just doing it for funsies. I was doing it because I wanted to do it. So yeah, this podcast is definitely the 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 something because it's getting scary. The mental topics that I keep on talking about. I know I put a cute little story in there, a cute little childhood story in there. Me getting cussed out by my teacher and saying cute childhood story. I am quite afraid. Since this is giving like serious core podcast, I'm gonna talk about when people take stuff too seriously. Like when I am trying to make a joke and then you make me feel bad for making a joke. When you fully knew it was a joke and the joke wasn't because I understand when like jokes could be like offensive and when you could step out of line, but when I clearly am not stepping out. Mike died. But when I clearly am not stepping out of line and you still get offended at a lame, stupid joke that is so random that doesn't even matter, and then you genuinely get offended, obviously you're miserable to be around. Like, you're not fun. And I've had so many. And it sucks because they've been good people too. They've been jokesters, which is so confusing. Those people have always been like the ones to make the jokes. But when it's their turn to be like the butt of the joke, it's kind of like the problem. And I think I kind of rubbed off on that too. Like I noticed that I like making jokes, but when it's my turn, I'm just like, oh, oh, oh. And that's annoying. That like it feels so limiting. It really does feel like I'm chained up. Like I want to laugh. Like yeah, call me this, call me that. Like it's I should laugh. I should not take myself seriously because it's so. I remember I take straight face at work, just fully judged, fully serious, like being. It's lame. It's so lame, and nobody even talked to me because of that. Nobody talks to you if you're this mysterious person because you're scary. You're not mysterious. You're scary, and you look like you need a pill to calm you down. Because I was giving that. I'm like, why do I kind of seem unapproachable? It's probably because I have my head down and I'm always like this. I was always just my face just and my tone was just like this. It was like that. No, not like this. Like something like that. Wait, maybe this is more comforting than how I usually talk. Anyway, wait, I could actually do that pretty well. Loves that. That's actually good. I'm coming for Got Make. I'm coming for Got Make. The way this podcast is only mental health and drag race. For a very long time, I thought that routines, having a daily routine, doing the same thing over and over and over again, would drive me ballistic. I thought it would make me just want to be Bjork song. Like, I live on a mountain right at the top. And I would have been the cliff and I've been jumping off. Like, I would have been I would have been hyper ballad. But no, it's that's not the case. Having a routine is not bad. Like, I I think I thought that because I had routines that I hated. Like I hated going obviously like no kid. Maybe there's like some geek out there who does, but I didn't like that for like multiple reasons. I didn't like going to that place. And it was just routines that I didn't like. I shifted my reality to be like, okay, routines are bad. Don't have a routine then. Just live. Just live. Just go do your thing, and whatever you want to do, just do it. No, no, that is so bad because it makes you have so many options. You have so many options that you have none. That it always just leads to you doing nothing. And that was my judge. That was my case. Because I am very creative and I could do a lot of things creatively on this computer, but I just get so overwhelmed at the things that I could do. I'm just like, I'm not, I'm not, I'm not. And literally the only thing I'm doing is like tapping my keyboard or on stream and talking. But it's just like the 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 mental health. I'm on my mental health journey, okay? That's why. I journal sometimes and I walk and I talk to myself nicely. So, yes, this is for right now, for the beginning of this series, it's gonna be that, unfortunately, until something, until I get a job and get my life together. Yeah. Speaking that into reality literally made me realize what I was doing, but honestly, girl, I'm still gonna do this with the job, without it, because this is my passion. Like, you gotta stick to your passions in life. Because when I was at that work, you could get easily stuck. Like, I felt so productive. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a job quickly after high school. I'm so like on track. I'm following the guide. I'm following how things are supposed to go. No, you could get trapped and stuck so easily if you just work and don't have a passion. If you just work and just save for nothing and just don't have a passion, it's just what are we? What are we? What are we? And listen very closely because that's what I did. And all of those paychecks went right here to this gullet, because I was hungry. I was hungry and I wasted my money badly and I didn't save it. Mm-mm. So really, you have to have a passion when you are doing a plan A. I feel like if there's a plan A, there has to be unpopular opinion. Plan A, probably like a job. Plan B is the passion. Does that make sense? It's kind of the way I see it. It's just like this is the work, your job is glass, your passion is your net. Once that glass breaks and you have fully tapped into your passion, when you could just quit your job, break it, your passion will catch you, will save you from any. That's how I see it as. So I don't think the A B thing really made sense, but yeah, I definitely needed a passion, and once I get this new judge, this new job, I would definitely do that. Like, what would be like a car? Oh my god, there have been so many times when my friends at work wanted to go out, and they've always said, "Okay, we could just Uber." I instantly bowed out. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm bailing out. I do not want to play. I do not want to have fun. Uber. When you say the word Uber, it's like you're saying Hell Satan. I fear. I run. I don't like it because why do I have to spend 30 bucks to get down the block? No, it's over with. I'm not Ubering to go eat a meal with you guys and then waste another 30 bucks and then Uber back to my place and then waste another. It's not realistic, and especially since I was making like 500 a week, like every 2 weeks. I'm not bothered. 500 every 2 weeks. The girls, they were making a thousand a week. Like what I mean by the girls, my friends, um, they were making 1,000. They were getting the judge up. They were working. I caught off because that place tested me. That place, they really tested me. I was pushed to the brink in that place because there was so many favorites. People were not appreciated. People were not appreciated, and yeah. But all the past experience is that I all the past experiences that I've experienced are lessons now, and that job is definitely a lesson. If I ever am in a toxic workplace, girl, no, no, because for some reason I want to go back to that job. I want to get hired at it, but I know it's gonna be miserable, and I know in 2 months I'm gonna hate it again. I wanted to go back into that job with the mindset of like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to nobody. I'm just gonna focus on my work and do the thing, you know. Because back then, when I first got the job, I have expectations. I was like, oh, they're over here telling me that I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that. When they lied to me, when they lied straight to my face. So, but now I don't have the expectations, and that's why I want to go back. But I know if I do, I'm going to despise it because our teammates are not teammates, and the managers are not good managers. It's scary. One just got fired for doing a crazy thing. An employee just got fired for also doing a crazy thing, and let's just say it revolves physical and sexual. That is all. We are giving popcorn to people. We are giving popcorn to the civilians of the city. Why are we? When did it become that we're hitting each other? Why are you hitting your coworker? Why are you touching on that coworker? I am scared. Humans are scary. Humans are scary, and we have so much free will. We have so much free will that in the theater, a war could break out, and I was at war every single day. I was at war. I was at war. No, can we? I was actually at war with my uniform, my pants to be specific. They had holes like right in the thigh area because I have thick ass thighs, and they just ripped. Because I kept on rubbing on like when I walk, I chafe, and the jeans ended up just ripping. From the constant rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. So once it fully ripped, then it got to my skin, and the jeans every time I walked would just scrape, and scrape my thighs. And right there at the thigh is like literally so soft. It is like the smoothest part. It's so smooth right here. I'm like touching it right now. It's like smooth. It's smooth, and just rugged jeans were just constantly for 5, 6 hours. Um, were just rubbing on me. It was so painful, and that's why. That is why that the toxicity, the scary, the horror, all of that combined just made me want to call off so many times. They made me just want to just not work there because it was so scary. It was just, oh my goodness. And that went, I didn't even talk to nobody. And I was still getting, like, I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't really get anything personally, but I got stuff like secondhand, I guess. Like the manager wouldn't acknowledge me because they would be prioritized on a worker that was not working, and they would favor them because they were friends with them, like literally. Anyways, anyways, can we talk about? I've been watching Ben of the Week's podcast a lot, and I watched a recent episode where he talked about the New Yorker that's in Pakistan right now, and I live for. She is literally giving like. It's real life troll. It is a whole real life troll in the making. It is what I do on Discord happening in real life. Obviously, I think she has like something going on, and it's probably messed up. of me to say that. I probably shouldn't be laughing, but it's just the things that she's doing. Like, how can't I laugh at them? How can't I? She went to Pakistan. Wait, yeah, right. She went to an area and wanted to bounce on a 19-year-old girl. Your lashes are a line. I mean, your brows. They're literally a thin line, queen. I don't think it was gonna. You weren't gonna be successful your age or 19 age. That's so mean. That is so mean. Am I pretty? And get my swag on. I look in the mirror, say what's up. Well, I hope you enjoyed the mental health again, the mental health talks and the work toxic talk and the thigh pants war happening in my body talk. And the judge is over. 40 minutes. It's probably going to go down to 30 or something when I cut it. But bite. This has been Bite and bisexual rights. Bisexuals exist. They exist.